all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
It's CH from HOMEBREW for life. Let's get fucking brutal. I know, I get that. I know, but if it's supposed to taste like butter, why don't we just eat butter? Two things. We got good news and we got bad news. Bad news is, surprise, surprise, we're still in quarantine. That could not be true, because you could see this video in like a year from now and not know what the hell we're talking about. But the good news is that homebrewing is back. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I think the quarantine has like fired up everybody to brew. We're just going crazy. I notice a lot of other YouTubers putting out a ton of videos, and I steal all their fucking ideas because I'm this internet creature. Genius brewing, short-circuited, because I can't come up with my own ideas, man. And their videos motivate me, and everyone's getting back into homebrewing. Idle Hands are the devil's workshop. Idle Hands are the devil's brewery. All my favorite homebrew shops are shut down, though, even before the apocalypse. But the show's got to go on. People say punk's not dead, punk rock's not dead, homebrewing's not dead, fam. So what are we doing today? What's the last thing that you need to complete your brew house? You've been brewing all grain. You know how to keg. Your beer is pouring like the salmon of Capistrano. You started buying hops by the pound. You started buying grains by the bag. So what are we missing? Our own mill to crush up our own grains. Before we talk about what we're gonna do to how to have a mill at our house, we're gonna talk about what not to do. Two things. First and foremost, do not buy a mill with a motor. It's going to be at least 2 to 3 times the price, and eventually the motor's going to break. Then you're going to have to go back to using Old Faithful within a year. Unless you have a commercial brewery, you do not need a mill with a motor. Secondly, do not build this part. The hopper part with the rollers, do not build it. I tried to like mess around with sheet metal a little bit ago. It just wasn't worth it. It's some things you just buy. Do you want to spend your whole weekend making sourdough bread? Or do you want to go down to the corner store and buy better bread than what you just made for $4? Time is money, fam. And another thing that I recommend paying attention to is that mills are very kind of scarce to come by used, and I highly recommend buying them used. A mill should last forever. The motor won't, but you know, the metal and the rollers, and as long as you clean it, it's going to last you a long time. So, you know, you scour Craigslist and you're always going to see corny kegs, fermenters, kettles, burners, mash tuns, almost posted daily, but it's very rare to see a mill. So if you do see a mill on Craigslist, the 2 roller mills, they're like $100 new, and the 3 roller mills are like $150, $160 new. If someone's offering a 3 roller mill on Craigslist for $100, that is a great deal. I can't believe how cheap stuff is on homebrewing stuff is on Craigslist these days. But more power. It's a buyer's market. All right, let's kick it into gear. I'm even falling asleep making this video. We don't need a motor. We don't need a table. We don't need that $400 hoopla. It's homebrew for life. Mills. Okay, there's a couple brands out there that I vouch for. We use the Malt Muncher 3. $170 new on morebeer.com. Morebeer is a very legitimate e-commerce website, online brew store. I'd feel good about this. Plus you get free shipping, and that's huge on an item of this size that's not, you know, Amazon Prime. These are tough to get. Like, I've looked at these a bunch and they've just been sold out. Amazon might be your next best option. You might pay a little bit more. And yeah, like mills are just hard to come by, even new. I don't see too many buying options out there. And again, always check Craigslist. Always look at that first. Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, because this is something I have zero problem buying secondhand. I have mine secondhand, zero problem with it. The biggest FAQ I would imagine is that should you go with a 2 roller or a 3 roller? I would go with 3 and spend more money, but I'm also going to be building my own table for it. It's going to probably last you until you die, and if you do planning on selling it, it's going to have more resale value. So I would go with the 3 roller. And like I said, yeah, I built my own table. The tables that they come with are funky. You always get the grain stuck inside, and you got to unscrew it and take it out and clean it. I'll show you my method here in a second. I don't screw it in though. When I bought mine, it didn't come with this $20 table piece of wood thing, and I liked my system way better. And we're going to learn that in the next chapter in like 10 seconds from now. Yeah, mine didn't come with this like $20 piece, $20 for a piece of wood. Can you really drop 25 on a 2-foot piece of wood and still refer to yourself as a man?
Sure, I think so.
No, the answer is you cannot.
All right, subscribe to our channel if you think Carol Baskin killed her husband. First things first, let's get rid of this. What is it, 1924? Are you kidding me? Now as for the wood, preferably you want like a 2x6, and I'll tell you why in a second. I don't have one. I gotta work with what I got, but I do have a 1x6. 2x4s will not work. It's gotta be at least 6 inches. Go to Home Depot, buy up, fam. Okay, so a Home Depot bucket is 12 inches in diameter. That's our grain bucket. So I got this long piece of 1x6, and I'm gonna need about 20 inches of it. The longer the better, but you don't really got to go over 24. It's just kind of dead weight after that. Get on that safety first train, fam. How's my sawhorse game, fam? Now eyeball your mill into the middle of the wood and pencil around it. And now tack on about 3/8 inch, maybe ½ inch to the endings of our hot dog. Now I'm gonna snag my favorite tool that I own, a spade bit. DeWalt all the way. And any size will really work. The bigger the better though. And hit all 4 lines, in the middle of all 4 lines. Get as close to the line as you can. This will make life easier for the next part. Now you can really kind of use any saw, but a jigsaw is going to be the easiest by far. I love doing this stuff, man. It really makes me wish I had wood shop in high school, but I wasn't such a fucking pussy nowadays. You can't do shit like that. The main thing is to not cut too far outside your lines, or the mill won't rest on it. If the mill falls through, you gotta start over. And if it's too short, you're good. Just keep hitting it with the jigsaw tool, or if you have a multi-tool, or even a sander if you have one. And look at this. This is a thing of beauty right here. Just resting perfectly on our paddle. No screws, no cleaning, no stuck grain, just legitness. Now fill it up with grain. Snag your DeWalt driver and screw it on and start milling. Okay, so why the 1x6 or the 2x6? Well, I've dealt with 3 mills in the past where sometimes they don't catch. Like the only one of the rollers that's going is the one connected to the drill, and the other 2 are just stagnant. So when it's a 2x6 or a 1x6, a 1x6 will hold the weight of this mill. Instead of a table that covers the whole bucket, I can reach under here and spin the bottom roller with my hand. It's amazing. And if you're not comfortable using your hand, just, I don't know, grab a spoon or something and just flick it, and the 3 rollers will take off, and you'll grind up your grain efficiently. There you go, fam. You're all dialed in. Have some fun with this thing, man. You don't have to use it for just brewing. And look at this beautiful crushed up grain. That's it. Thanks for sticking around. We did this video in one day. Cheers to eating good and drinking good.